We're going to have a wet team today and a dry team. You all know who you are. Catching the animal will be myself, Will, and Christine, so that we can move the animal quickly and efficiently. Again, the goal is to have the shortest amount of water-to-water time.
From the beginning, no one had expected her to live. Each hour that passed was further proof of her hard-fought struggle for survival. And each hour that passed brought the little whale they came to call Inky one step closer to returning home. She was about to embark on an exhausting 4-hour flight. For Inky, it was one more step in a remarkable journey. A journey that had begun 5 months earlier on a beach in New Jersey. It was Thanksgiving Day, and a young pygmy sperm whale had stranded. Bystanders and police protected her until the Brigantine Stranding Center arrived on the scene. Dozens of phone calls activated the Marine Mammal Stranding Network, and by 10 o'clock that night, Thanksgiving dinners up and down the East Coast had been put on hold. The U.S. Coast Guard agreed to do an emergency airlift, taking the whale by helicopter to a hospital pool at the National Aquarium in Baltimore.
I did not give her much of a chance at all for survival when I first saw the whale. She was in a very poor condition. She was dehydrated, appeared to be in shock. She had very poor muscle mass and muscle tone. She was a perfect example of an animal that would not survive long without proper and immediate care.
A lot of times when we get these stranded animals in, it seems like there's little hope. They come in emaciated. The Kogia species, which Inky was a member of, in particular, hardly ever make it past about a week in a rehabilitation setting. And I think we all felt when she first came in that, oh, not another one of these poor animals. I think there was a lot of skepticism to keep plugging away and keep moving on and putting in the time and the resources to save her because they just don't do well. Good stick.
In Baltimore, the aquarium's medical team began an intensive series of examinations and medical tests to discover what had caused this young whale to strand.
It was clear that she was an unhealthy animal. She was unable to move. She was logging at the surface, a very strange behavior. It seemed as though she was not going to improve. She was eating very little, and she was not gaining weight, and she looked as though she was in trouble.
After 3 weeks of blood tests, x-rays, and sonograms, Inky was still alive, but the source of her illness was still a mystery. It was when they called in endoscopy specialist Dr. Michael Wise that Inky's problem became all too clear.
Because we know that animals like her often have ulcers, and so we were examining her stomach for that purpose, and didn't find ulcers, but did locate some what appeared to be foreign material.
We were able to determine her primary problem, which was actually plastic that was stuck within her stomach. We found numerous types of plastic within the animal's stomach, including part of a mylar balloon, what looked to be the cellophane wrapper of a cigarette carton. There were other pieces that resembled a green garbage bag.
But this was an animal that's stranded for a single reason, and that's because we throw junk in the ocean, or we throw junk where it shouldn't be, and it finds its way into the ocean.
The number of strandings has been going up regularly for a number of years. And since we are finding more animals, we're looking harder at those animals to see what's happening to them. And we're finding marine debris very frequently. It shows us that our everyday garbage and our everyday activities actually have impacts on the environment. Recent reviews have shown that there's up to 130 marine species that are infected by entanglement and up to 160 species that are known to ingest marine debris. So we're not only looking at marine mammals, but we're looking at sea turtles, seabirds, fishes, and even some invertebrates. So the whole spectrum of the marine ecosystem is impacted by marine debris.
Keeping garbage out of the oceans is a mission the United States Coast Guard takes seriously.